Evolution. In the year 1859, Charles Darwin published a book that turned the world on its head, On the Origin of Species, which explained one of nature's sharpest impulses with startling clarity: the process of natural selection. 2 decades later, on India's western shores, a political outfit began its journey. Born from a reprisal against the masters that ruled, it gradually became a struggle for freedom, a dream that came true in August 1947.
A century-long sustainability of a political party, those fundamental convictions remain valid till today.
Those fundamental values of pluralism, of humanism, of living and letting other people live, that is what is the sine qua non of the Congress Party.
We want to keep the country united. When the Congress is united, country was united.
But what Darwin told the world about evolution did come true with this political outfit.
हम इस भारत को एक सुंदर भारत, एक साफ भारत, एक प्रगतिशील भारत, एक चमकता भारत हम बनाएंगे.
The strength of the Congress, when it is in power, that the Congress is doubly strong when it is sitting on the opposition benches.
It grew, it matured, and it evolved.
I will endeavor to measure up to the responsibilities which this position imposes.
ये पार्टी कहीं खत्म नहीं हुई, ये पार्टी बहुत आसानी से जग जाती है.
But over time it became clear that the outfit had begun to overlook the most crucial core of Darwin's theory, that only and only the fittest survive.
Unfortunately, we haven't changed with the changing times.
Congress used to be the predominant political party in India. We used to set the narrative for India.
There is no relevance. You did it by yourself. It is your karma.
Cut to 2022, 75 years after independence, and that party that won India its freedom faces a fully Darwinian crisis.
Modern politics, the perception depends on the kind of narrative we trigger.
So unless we rise to the occasion and change our own views about the new realities, then we can't keep in touch or keep pace with the changing country.
Today, whether they vote or not, we feel that they are under one umbrella. We all are in one nation.
The party's first family has lost its once famous political appeal.
The Congress is still at liberty to make him their crown prince, or at times clown prince.
Vilification of Rahul ji gets attraction not only because BJP does. A huge section of media is complicit in it.
Resulting in the out-of-power party lurching from one crisis to the next.
Whether the Congress is failing the Gandhis or Gandhis are failing the Congress.
A party that needs not just band-aid, it needs surgery.
Congress खुद के कारणों से कमजोर हो रही है.
मैं इंदिरा जी की बहू हूँ और किसी से नहीं डरती.
आपके लिए मैं पप्पू हूँ.
But this party remains defiant, dogged that it shall weather what is quite simply the political equivalent of a near-death experience and emerge relevant and revitalized once more.
Who is going to ask the tough questions to the BJP?
That if there's any one party that can stop the BJP even today, it is the Congress.
Undaunted, fearless, take your pick.
Because 137 years after its inception, India's grand old party is literally fighting to stay alive.
Politics, you win, you lose, you come up in power, you go down. It's part of life.
We refer to 2023 as a game changer. Why is that? Because 9 states go into elections in the year. In two of them, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, the Congress is fighting to stay in power for a successive term.
Frankly, I don't know personally, but yes, I know that in Rajasthan we have a government which is a Congress government. In the last 30 years, we've seen a flip every 5 years. So it's a BJP government, then a Congress government. It's time we break that tradition and have a repeat of the Congress government. History will repeat itself. You know, if you don't do something different to reach out and to make sure we have a serious attempt at winning people's blessings again in next year, December.
Politics, there is no void ever. And in fact, every state, the Congress has more than one capable leader. And that's something, that's a strength we have.
And in Madhya Pradesh, where they were deposed after the high-profile exit of a member of Rahul's inner circle, the hope is to stay as a strong opposition at least.
In 2018, which was the best year that the Congress has had in the last decade, they won Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. And they were part of a government in Karnataka. And yet, they were demolished a year later. General elections are very different to state elections.
Which is why I believe if the Congress were to change the game, have a new leader, get aggressive, go and motivate your cadres and talk to people, the young of India, trust me, the story can change.
And then there's the election that will be closely watched, Karnataka, where the Congress will be looking for political revenge against the BJP after the latter broke up a Congress-JDS government midway by way of defections and ruthless power play.
Always Congress party in Karnataka had paid a way. Even at the time when Janata Party came to power in the national level, when Indira Gandhi was being defeated, it is Karnataka. It has created hundreds of leaders in this country. First time when I contested an election, I was a student leader. As a student, I contested the election. Now I am there with a lot of very rich experience. We want this state to be seen in a different angle, which has very big strength, which has contributed to the growth of this country.
But before that sudden fight begins, the Congress has been caught sitting on its hands on an extremely crucial decision.
I think it is very important for the Congress to sort this thing out. I mean, there are compelling reasons on both sides that, should there be a chief ministerial face and should there not be a chief ministerial face. The Congress is always very tentative and indecisive, and it falls between the two stools. It must take a call. It must experiment.
No outfit knows this better than the Congress party. In every state, there's always been at least a two-way fight for the party's chief ministerial face ahead of an election.
That decision is with the party, and even the BJP or any other party, sometimes they announce depending on the circumstances, but usually the Congress party doesn't announce a face that so and so will be chief minister, because it's a collective effort. And then whoever the legislative members of the party decide becomes the leader, and the person becomes chief minister. This rivalry issue, it's also because we have strong leaders, right? So I'm not at all that worried about who will get what position. It's the party has to win.
We saw it happen in Chhattisgarh.
To your point about differences in the open, yes, I wish there were fewer differences in the open. But then, we are a melting pot. We allow people to disagree with the leadership, so it's all right.
When you use the word management of egos, I differ. It's not egos, it's aspirations. Why do you expect a temporary, an artificial, hunky-dory atmosphere within an organization? Why should there be artifice?
No one can forget the infamous ongoing hostilities in Rajasthan.
The Congress, I think that charge is not true, but perhaps I think a better alignment of two generations is what we require to do moving forward, and then have a cohesive sort of a coming together of two forces, and that will be formidable.
Then there was the public verbal spats that broke out in Punjab again in the run-up to an election.
कांग्रेस खुद के कारणों से कमजोर हो रही है, उनको किसी बाहरी दुश्मन की जरूरत ही नहीं है, और कांग्रेस पार्टी कोई भी चुनाव जीतने की इच्छा शक्ति के साथ लड़ती ही नहीं है। उनके अंदर वो विल पावर नहीं है कि वो चुनाव जीतने के लिए लड़े। वो चुनाव शुरुआत ही इसी से करते हैं कि हमें तो चुनाव हारना है। तो कांग्रेस पार्टी को बाहर के किसी व्यक्ति को लड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो आपस में लड़ने के लिए काफी है, आपस में एक दूसरे को कमजोर करने के लिए काफी है।
Like Punjab, where the Congress was the front runner and should have won the elections until they committed harakiri or political suicide, I hope the Congress doesn't do that in Karnataka. That's a state that the Congress party can actually win.
Two Congress leaders taking pot shots publicly at each other. former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Party President D.K. Shivkumar.
See, it is not important that I be the Chief Minister or X be the Chief Minister. There are so many leaders who have contributed for the growth of the party in the state. There are various leaders, not 1, 2, 3, 4. There are more than 10 leaders are there. Like Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge was the president. He was the leader of the opposition who have contributed for the growth of the party, strengthening the party, keeping the party united. We believe everyone has to work together.
The last thing I think the Congress needs to now do is allow factionalism to destroy the Karnataka Congress, because then, it will be yet another case of the Congress never missing an opportunity to miss an opportunity.
See, there is no any friction or any groups in the party. Congress has only one group, that is the Congress group. No individual group is being allowed. I don't believe in it. I believe in collective leadership. There are various leaders in our party. We will all join together. We will see that Congress party coming to power is important. It is not me or Siddaramaiah is not important here. We have to serve the people. We are working together. We will see that the Congress will be in power.
I welcome this idea of multiple ambitious leaders vying for position within units. See, there is a methodology within the Congress hierarchy to sort out these issues. But if there is somebody who is going to become the overwhelming favorite leader among the cadre, I don't think anybody can prevent that person from becoming a leader.
You may say it's still early, but all political parties have at least one eye on the big picture, the big fight for 2024.
Democracy anywhere, it needs a very strong opposition.
जितना पावर में लोग रहते हैं, उतना ही अगर उनके खिलाफ आवाज उठाने वाले मजबूत लोग रहेंगे, तो वो सत्ता का दुरुपयोग नहीं कर पाएंगे.
You see, this whole narrative of Modi versus who, it's a wrong narrative. Doesn't suit the opposition. It only suits Modi and BJP put this out.
2019 में जब लोकसभा में हम दोबारा जीत करके आए, तो इस ज्ञानियों ने कहा था कि भाई 2019 के जीत में क्या है.
लेकिन दुर्भाग्य ये है कि आप में से बहुत लोग ऐसे हैं जिनके सुई कांटा 2014 में अटका हुआ है.
Whenever the Congress hasn't been in power, it's always been the principal opposition party, like it's been since 2014. But come 2024, the Congress stands to lose even that saving grace if it does not mount a credible revival.
I, as a political commentator, I do not expect Congress going by today's conditions, I don't expect the Congress to be crossing 100 Lok Sabha seats in 2024. So if that doesn't happen, then the Congress cannot be on the driver's seat.
Democracy is all about numbers, and it's all about the future prospects. While I give full credit to all the state leaders who defeated BJP in their home states, have regional parties, they have a role to play, certainly. But there also has to be give and take, because pan-India, the only party with presence, strength and the willingness to fight the BJP is the Congress. So it will have to be the pivot around which a lot of opposition leaders can come together.
Congress, you like it or not, has 20% of the vote in India. I mean, that is our base. So now is a question of aggregating like-minded parties who would want to oppose the BJP. So we need to get another 15-20% vote share to our side, and we have to articulate a positive agenda against the BJP.
When you have a history of 137 years, there shall be some gerontological, age-related problems. I believe, and my leader also, Tejaswi ji and Lalu ji has said, that there are problems, but Congress shall overcome.
But I think if the Congress suffers a third consecutive Lok Sabha defeat where they end up with, again, just about 50 seats, there will be serious questions asked about whether the Congress can continue to occupy that space within the opposition also, not just in government but even within the opposition, because there will be other contenders for that same space.
क्योंकि भारत में ज्यादातर एक से एक टक्कर हो गई, 1-to-1 हो गया, उससे हमारी एक कॉमन फैक्टर है जो सब में चलता है, हमारा संगठन बिल्कुल खत्म था, टूटा हुआ और कोई ताकत नहीं दिखा रहा.
So will India have an alternate front that can take on the BJP-led NDA?
In a serious note, BJP will not have any challenger in many states. That challenger will be your own tally of 2019.
The battle is between Prime Minister Modi and those who stand with corruption.
You have to see that, okay, 2019 you own 9, now you have to own 10. So you are fighting with yourself in the national scenario. However, there will be 6-7 states where you will fight with various regional formation that you know.
Are voters hoping to look beyond the Congress for options? There's no doubt that options have at least begun to emerge. Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal has made his national ambitions crystal clear.
24 घंटे ये लोग बस यही सोचते रहते हैं कि आम आदमी पार्टी को कैसे कुचला जाए।
जब उनसे लोगों से ये सवाल पूछा जाता है कि केजरीवाल क्या मोदी को टक्कर दे सकते हैं और दूसरे नेताओं का भी नाम पूछा जाता है, नंबर 1 पर अरविंद केजरीवाल का नाम लोग लेते हैं। यह संकेत भारत की राजनीति के लिए बहुत बड़ा और अच्छा संकेत है। यह आदमी आ गया तो देश के अंदर कोई बड़ा बदलाव कर सकता है, तो आप देखिएगा क्या होगा।
अगर इनके भरोसे छोड़ दिया, इन पार्टियों और इन नेताओं के भरोसे छोड़ दिया तो अगले 75 साल और पीछे रह जाएंगे।
There is a competition that Kejriwal is fighting. That competition is not with Modi. That competition is with Nota. In 2019 elections, in general elections, they got less than 1% vote. I think Nota was higher than them.
मैं आपको क्यों कह रहा हूं कि 2024 का चुनाव केजरीवाल वर्सेस मोदी होगा, कि मुफ्त की रेवड़ी पे कंटिन्यू हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी बोल रहे हैं।
मुफ्त की रेवड़ी बांटकर वोट बटोरने का कल्चर लाने की भरसक कोशिश हो रही है।
वो किसको संबोधित कर रहे हैं? अरविंद केजरीवाल को।
When the Revdi comment was made by the Honorable Prime Minister, he named no party, no government, no state.
रेवड़ी कल्चर वालों को लगता है कि जनता जनार्दन को मुफ्त की रेवड़ी बांटकर उन्हें खरीद लेंगे।
Somewhere if it pricked you, that means you know that your system and your entire model is a Revdi model. We did not say your model is Revdi model. We said that Revdi model is not good.
तो उनको खतरा क्या है? उनको खतरा इस बात का है कि अगर किसी दिन केजरीवाल जी निकले और उन्होंने कहा कि हम पूरे देश में 300 यूनिट बिजली फ्री देंगे, फिर क्या करेगी बीजेपी? एक भी वादे पे खरी नहीं उतरी नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार। तो बुनियादी फर्क ये है। इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूं कि चुनाव केजरीवाल वर्सेस मोदी होगा, आम आदमी पार्टी वर्सेस भारतीय जनता पार्टी होगा।
Mamata Banerjee knows a thing or two about defeating the Modi-Shah combined. She did it, pushed back a powerful BJP in 2021 in her state.
The focus is to remove Modi. The focus is to win Lok Sabha seats in the different states. Everyone is on board, inside Parliament and outside Parliament. Those leaders who are strong in their own states have to bring in lots of Lok Sabha seats. You see, lots of you in the media do a lot of analysis of all the political parties, how they work, how they don't work. But no one asks the tough questions to the BJP. So it's very easy to spend a lot of time analyzing the Congress party did this, the TMC did this didn't go right for the TRS.
And the latest entrant to the opposition's natural ambitions playground is Bihar's Nitish Kumar.
First, opposition members, opposition political parties, they need to sit together. You know, when the people go to vote, what is their idea? That my son, my daughter is unemployed for last so many years. And the government of the day has no blueprint for that. So is the case of inflation. So is the case of harmony. And these kind of issues, combine them together, take it to the people. It will remain same in Bengal, it will remain the same in Tamil Nadu, and for that matter, Punjab, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh. Now, this is what is important, what you do at macro and micro. This has to be a combination.
नहीं, हम किसी चीज के उम्मीदवार का हम कोई दावेदारी नहीं, लेकिन इतना तो जरूर कर दीजिए ना कि 14 में जो आए 24 तक के आगे रह पाएंगे कि नहीं रह पाएंगे.
And now to our final chapter. What does the future hold for the Congress party? Ironically, an astrologer had said that the party's fate line is blurred, referring to the party's famous emblem.
You have to stop the BJP in 2024, and therefore they need to move heaven and earth. That if there's any one party that can stop the BJP even today, it is the Congress.
The obituary of the Congress party is a pet project of a lot of people. It's a 137-year-old party, let's not forget that. Understands how to respond to situations, learns, unlearns. Histories of India and the Congress party are so intertwined with each other. It cannot be separated.
The party which now gives dictation to everyone that all political parties shall be finished, only China kind of model, that Bharatiya Janata Party is the only party in India. They must not forget they were at two. They had to struggle for so many years. I wish them luck. But at the same time, they should not ridicule other political parties, including Congress.
The Congress at the moment is facing the most ruthless, energetic, resourceful election machine in the history of independent India in the form of the Modi-Shah BJP.
The Congress party's future is very much in its own hands. Political parties in the past have been guilty of not evolving, of completely losing their relevance, and that is literally the Congress's battle today.
You see, that's a call which eventually the people of India will take. And there are 543 seats in the Lok Sabha which will be up for grabs. The question is that who has the footprint to be able to really have that pan-India presence in an efficacious manner.
We may have lost 2 elections, but don't forget we won 2 elections back to back, 2004 and 2009. Nothing remains the same. People who got huge victories have had to suffer huge losses. And that may and very well will apply to the BJP and NDA.
See, the Congress's strength is the fact that the people must perceive us as the natural party of governance in the centre. And at the moment, they don't perceive us as that, but that can be regained.
137 years of legacy, the battle for identity pre-independence, the contribution to India's freedom movement, and some of the country's most iconic leaders, yet a continuing fall into darkness. The Congress has only itself to blame and only itself to save.
But the fulcrum and the bedrock of a pan-India opposition and the pole and the pivot can only be the Congress, because it's the only party that has presence, like I said, all across India. And of course, that's something that the BJP is very wary of.
This is the march of time and these are the cycle of events. And you're absolutely fine that across the world, there have been instances where political parties have got eclipsed. The Liberals, the Whigs, they are classical examples. But in my estimation, I think those fears or those apprehensions or that skepticism with regard to the Indian National Congress may be a tad exaggerated. In my estimation, things will settle down because there is an intrinsic genius which the Indian people have of discerning as to what is good and what is bad for them.
It's flawed to say that the Congress could ever become irrelevant. I think Congress, in many ways, represents large sections of our people. We stand for diversity, we stand for all languages, we stand for all regions. How can we ever become irrelevant? Yes, electoral setbacks will set us thinking, they will set us re-strategizing, but I don't think we can ever become irrelevant.
Vibrant democracy that believes in the power of the opposition will no doubt be rooting for a Congress revival. But whether the next few years translate into a true rebirth or a continued descent into dust is completely in the party's hands.
I feel that there is a certain level of dissatisfaction coming up at the grassroots level.
If we are to survive as a responsible political organization, we have to go back to the grassroots. I am confident that the next time around, we will emerge triumphant.
And I leave you with Darwin's words, which ring true for the Congress. Only the fittest can survive. And cut.